On this, we bring in Assistant to the President for Trade and Manufacturing Policy, Peter Navarro, who, at least if you believe the reporting, is sort of leading.
Don't believe that reporting. We got one leader in this band, and that's President Donald J. Trump.
He seems to be listening to you on this one.
That's overblown. That's
humility. I never thought I'd see humility in Washington, but it's happened. So we will mark the tape.
We have the best trade team I think we've ever had in history.
Okay, well what's the threat? What's the threat if China begins or continues on their currency manipulation? You said there's serious consequences.
So there's no threat here.
You said there's serious consequences. What are the consequences
for China? What's happening with China now, as we have methodically put tariffs on, as China has basically refused to negotiate in good faith, we've seen China lower their currency. Since the tariffs started, Leland, the Chinese yuan has gone down 12%, offsetting much of the tariffs that we impose, so China's bearing the burden. The other thing China does is lower their prices. So we've seen virtually no inflation. I have something for you. I wanted to give this to you today. This is promises made, promises kept.
Let's stick on what's going on with China. I'll look at that.
Okay.
This was 2016.
Is the last
okay,
of seven
here's the
promises.
question. Here's the question.
That
What would you
do?
if China continues devaluing their currency, which, as you point out, is a way to try to offset the tariffs? What tools will the United States respond with?
So Secretary Mnuchin has branded them a currency manipulator under
Step one. What's next?
Step one, under the 1988 Omnibus Act and the 2015 Trade Act, he has a wide range of tools at his disposal. Step one is to work with the International Monetary Fund to get China to do the right thing here. And then we have tools to offset or countervail their their manipulation. Do you know how they manipulate their currency?
Yeah, but give me specifics on what the U.S. is going to do.
This is your answer.
Give me specifics on what they're going to do, though.
I don't understand the hostility here. It's very simple. When China manipulates their currency, what they do is they go in and intervene in the currency market, so they buy dollars. Right? So what the Treasury Department has the ability to do, among other things, is to countervail or counteract that. So that would be one thing to do. But when they do that, keep in mind that when they're lowering their currency to offset the tariffs, they're bearing the burden of the tariffs. They're
It's still the money. Let's be clear on this. The money that comes into the U.S. Treasury comes from U.S. companies. It does not come from the Chinese government.
You're wrong, sir. You're absolutely wrong.
Wait, hold on. I want to understand this. President Trump says the Chinese pay for the tariffs.
Hang on.